We'll play it on the way out. What's going on, everybody? This is Wrestling with Savage. We should officially be live now. This is episode 150 of Wrestling with Savage, and it's to bring you NXT. I hope you're all ready for some action. It's about to go down right now. I'm here with Jay, Lewis, Anthony. What is going on, folks? Welcome back to Wrestling with Savage. I hope you all had a happy New Year. Jay basically let me know he had a lot of Hennessy for New Year's, and that's okay. That's okay. Hennessy's good. Lewis, your New Year's was filled with what again?
Was filled with soberism and having to go to work the next day.
Soberism. You know what my New Year's has been filled with so far? Technical difficulties. Non-fucking stop. Somebody say something in the chat if you're here. We'd like to know what you thought of NXT as well. You're more than welcome to, leave any questions, comments, anything you have. Follow us on youtube.com. Obviously, go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Discord. You should join the Discord and, get involved in the conversation because I want to hear what you have to say. There's going to be a lot of things coming to the show this year. I'm going to be working on some rolling programs with my team to see if we can get to some live events, do some giveaways, do some raffles, have a couple of parties at a couple of nice spots, restaurants all over New York City, maybe have some watch parties for the Rumble, maybe have a watch party for Mania, maybe have a watch party for, not even a watch party. We'll do a live stream, play-by-play commentary, and a watch party all at the same damn time. Give away some shit, eat some food, drink some fucking beer. I don't drink beer, but I'll drink some Jack. And then, of course, Jay's going to have that Hennessy. Lewis, what's your drink of choice?
I'm a cider guy. I don't know.
I appreciate you, Lisa, coming by and, give Tony my love. Big shout out to Tony, Tantalizing Tony. I was on his show last night, Jay. You should give it a good watch. He does like a watch party for Raws and I believe AEWs and SmackDowns, and he does a lot of shit. It's not just that. He does a lot of shit. He's got a good crew of people. So I pretty much went on the show, and, he let me pretty much do whatever the hell I wanted. It was great. I was running play-by-plays on some of the matches. I interviewed him at one point on his own show, asking him questions, and he's basically got a long history with professional wrestling. Like, his memory of watching a match goes to, like, Rocky Johnson winning the tag team championships with Tony Atlas. And when he was bringing that up, of course, all I could think about is the videos Lewis has been sending me. Man, you saw all that shit that Tony was doing, Jay? Yeah, Jack is the best, absolutely. YouTube channel's not working. Now it's working, Mick. You're here. Just go back to YouTube. We're live now if you want, Mick. Or actually, I see your thing on the chat. Yeah, guys. See, I really integrated the stream right now. Right now, the chat is visible on the screen for everybody, and I believe I can even do something called a chat highlight. I'm not sure how to do it. I'll figure it out eventually. I don't know. We got a good amount of people watching us, so shout out to Lisa and Mick and anybody else that's in here, leave your name in the chat. We'll give you a shout out again. If you have any questions for Jay, Lewis, Anthony, or Savage, leave them in the chat and we'll get to them at some point in the show. But what did you guys, general consensus right now of Monday Night Raw last night, Jay, since you weren't here last night? Give it to us right now. Give me your hot Monday Night Raw take for all the people live right now.
I was afraid you was going to ask me that question.
You were afraid. But I got to know what Jay thinks.
I'm going to tell you what I think. I think might be nice.
We are here for NXT, so,
I'm going to say this. The future looks very bright. One hell of a fucking main event match. Hands down.
Okay.
Austin Theory proved me a believer. I wasn't a believer. I think that match definitely opened my eyes. But besides that, I don't think the show delivered. I think the show did a couple miscues. I think they gave some victories to people that should have not got the victory. I thought there was a little too much segment in the back. I thought the bloodline thing was a little repetitive because we've seen it before when they hijack and they want to do it again. I wish there was a new idea on that. Did KO have a black eye? Was that a real...
Yeah. Yeah, he looked like he definitely had a shiner, man.
I thought so too at one point, so I was like, holy crap. So that kind of caught me as a surprise. the women's title match didn't really deliver to me. I hate all that, you know, the hocus pocus. And
a lot of hocus pocus.
Right hand, that air right hand that she threw. Good recovery by Bianca, thinking out of the fly. But the match overall I didn't really feel the chemistry between. I don't know if Bliss was nervous or what, but I wasn't feeling it. And I didn't enjoy the tag matches with the Bloodline. I didn't enjoy the Elias and Solo.
You didn't enjoy Elias and Solo?
I just like the last spot. I like the finish.
Come on, man. You don't know how to have a good time if you don't like that match. That match was fantastic, man. You weren't happy to see Elias at least kicking some ass, looking presentable, looking like maybe he's about to beat Solo, but of course he's not. But just the fact, and you know, Anthony Blackwell Jr., everybody loves ABJ. Make sure everybody goes and subscribes to this, man. ABJ, feel free to drop your link in the chat all fucking day. He'll be joining us for another episode eventually, whenever he wants to.
This is my take on it. You know, I think Elias is a little better than this. And
we know he's better than this, but it was nice to see him actually kicking ass instead of, like, getting his ass kicked as usual. But let's start off with NXT. There was a match, Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams versus Apollo Crews. Match starts off with a hot spot leading to a nice drop kick from Crews. Moments later, Carmelo with a gorgeous springboard crossbody and even better springboard leg drop off the ropes into the cover and a kick out. Stalling suplex from Crews to Hayes, dumping him flat and hard, and then lands the rolling senton, stinger splash, and a nasty backbreaker. We get a cover and a kick out. Back from break, Carmelo is now in control with a nasty powerbomb into the cover. Kick out quickly turns him into a single leg crab, which I actually like the transition from that to the single leg crab. It showed intensity, it showed urgency, it showed that he wanted to get the win, make him tap out, make him suffer. It made it more believable. These guys were putting on a banger to kick off the New Year's, and Trick Williams is actually doing a good job working the camera. Really doing a good job of working the camera tonight, actually. We get a nasty enziguri from Apollo Crews, killing it with these clotheslines, even pulling out the backstabber, cold breaker, whatever you want to call it. Crews with a superplex, a beautiful superplex, that I believe Hayes still had his legs on the ropes. Very good strength by Apollo Crews to get that suplex over and with, done. Trick Williams almost costing Hayes the match. Crews looking beyond impressive with his sequence, including the Gorilla Press Slam, but nothing but net for Carmelo Hayes with a leg drop to the back of the neck of Apollo and picking up the 1, 2, 3. Axiom would come out and attack Trick Williams with a crazy moonsault off the top rope, and then that would lead to their match. I'm going to go to Lewis. What was your take on Carmelo Hayes versus Apollo Crews?
So for the first match of NXT in 2023, they definitely started off with a banger. Solid match. I'm huge on Carmelo Hayes. I think he's going to be, the next main roster star when they do bring him up. So this was a great showing by both of them.
Yeah, I agree with you. This match was an absolute banger. Great way to start off the year. Jay, what'd you see tonight?
Couldn't agree more. The psychology, the match, the footwork, the maneuvers that these guys did was just amazing. I mean, this is how you want to start the match, as Lewis say. We knew this was going to be a banger last week, and I can't wait to see what Melo goes after this. I mean, looking really bright. Melo's on fire.
And Anthony, what do you have to say about all this? Sir, you've been very quiet over there. I'm sorry we haven't gotten to you yet, so feel free to take your time on this. By the way, shout out to Mick Thomason, who's in the house right now, and I believe RJB says he likes my dark glasses. Looks like I got the Grayson Waller effect. Well, maybe I do.
Say bye, Jack.
Maybe I do. I don't know. Who knows? But I'll say this. I want to say thank you to our newest subscriber. And it's rare that your newest subscriber is actually on the fucking show that you're doing right now. Lewis over here dropping the sub on the channel. It only took almost 8 months. God damn, boy.
No comment.
Oh, Anthony, did Anthony even say what he thought about this match? No, right? What'd you think about this match, huh? What'd you think about this match?
I thought it was an absolute banger.
Okay.
I'm seeing something happening. I think Trick is gonna break away from Carmelo, because I was getting that vibe all match. I'm like, he's gonna turn. I think Trick is gonna turn on him.
Possibility. It's a possibility.
I'm gonna wait to say what I have to say about Trick after the second match.
Tony's not feeling good. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he feels better. We got to get into the next match with Axiom versus Trick Williams. Trick Williams with a nasty chop that gets Booker T hyped. We get another chop, and then Axiom returning the favor. We get a nasty kick to the face from Axiom into the flying crossbody cover and a kick out, but Axiom kicks are too much even after Trick tried to land trouble in paradise from what it looked like. Connects with a nice neck breaker, but Axiom picks up the win. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if it was a nice neck breaker because from the angle I saw it from, and I don't think they showed a replay, I couldn't really see the connection 100%. But, you know, from that angle, it looked good. He was, like, really aggressive with it, and, you know, you saw a little urgency from him as well. But at the end of the day, Axiom's going to pick up the win. Hayes and Williams are now in the ring beating the shit out of Axiom, and Apollo Crews, of course, is going to come and make the save. Jay, I'll go to you first on this one. Did this second match deliver? Were you impressed with Trick Williams?
Oh, hell no. I've been saying this for the longest. I think he's just a good manager, mouthpiece, you say, but hell no, as a wrestler. And that whole neck breaker, that's just sloppy. I'm sorry. He's done it one too many times from 205 Live to now. He's not a believer in me in the wrestling match. You guys saw it was just kind of silly with the whole crowd, but the crowd loves Mello and they love Trick Williams. Why they love Trick Williams? Because he's that mouthpiece. So I think he should just go back to what he does best and not wrestle.
So you don't want to see Trick Williams wrestling. How about you, Lewis? What did you think of Trick Williams tonight and Axiom?
I'm in agreement with Jay, honestly. I like Trick Williams. I just never see him being anything bigger than what he is.
At all, huh?
His wrestling is okay. You know, he's a good mouthpiece, but, you know, I think if he just, like Jay said, is Carmelo's mouthpiece, we're good. You know, take a couple bumps sometimes, whatever, but it really impressed.
So you don't want to see him transition into a wrestler at all?
Unless he pulls an Angelo Dawkins and becomes 10 times better.
He hasn't had really a lot of ring time like on TV. I don't know what he's doing in the performance center, or you know, honestly, I don't even know what they're allowed to do. Have you ever talked to an NXT superstar, Lewis, about like what their freedoms are at a performance center kind of situation? Anthony Graves, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you dropping by. Everybody go sub to my man Anthony Graves. But have you ever talked to an NXT superstar about that kind of scenario? And if not, will you now that I've brought it to your fucking attention?
I was gonna say I really haven't, but
yeah, what the fuck are you doing with your life? You should be getting the juicy shit, man. The questions that no one's asking. And you know what? If you can't think of them, I can.
I'll give you a call.
Oh, no, I will give you a call. No, but isn't that a great question, though? Wouldn't you like to know what kind of freedoms do they have? Are they allowed to just go in there and work out whenever they want? Are they allowed to just go in there and put on a match, like, let's say, when training ends? Do they have freedoms to go and really kill it in the ring? Or is there a limit to what they're allowed to do? I'm assuming there's a limit, and only some people have exceptions.
We'll find out if we ever book someone.
Like, I'm pretty sure Braun Breaker could walk right into NXT fucking Performance Center, and he probably has the keys to the fucking building.
My guess is that anyone who works for WWE can go in there. It's just once you get in there, your limitations, you know, depending on who you are, go down. Depending
what's going on for the day or the night. I wonder what their hours of operation are. Maybe they're like 8 to 8 or something like that. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. You heard about the new building, by the way, that WWE's building right now? They're putting together in Connecticut 15-foot monstrosity. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not 15-foot. That's not really big. 15-story monstrosity.
If you want to hear something really cool, I had a customer walk
Let me know.
With the last WWF flag flown at the WWE headquarters.
No way. When was this?
On Sunday.
So the flag that they took it down?
So the guy's story was that his uncle's friend was a custodian at WWE headquarters, and, you know, they took the flag down, they said, burn it. And this guy put it in the trunk of his car, went home, and, you know, he gave it to the guy who came into the store, like, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Wow.
So he was trying to sell it, and I'm like, dude, honestly, like, get this authenticated and put this up on, like, a crazy auction site.
Yeah.
You don't need, like,
You don't even need a signature on that thing if it's real.
I told him, I said, hit up the dude who runs the archives for WWE and see if he can authenticate it. It's harder. It's easier said than done.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're getting off the rails. Let's get back to NXT. I was actually impressed with Trick Williams tonight as far as like his ring work when he was outside with the camera. Just like you guys said, wrestling-wise, we need to see more from him. I think he has potential because he obviously has the look, he has the physique, he has the agility, the athletic ability, but he needs the actual like ring work to like really start to get it and understand it. Like being in the ring and then being outside the ring, two different things, completely. So we'll see what happens with that. But now we get more NXT. We get a segment from earlier, New Day, Pretty Deadly, and Schism. They're wondering why they have talked to every tag team except us. Is it because we're the biggest threat to your titles? Kofi says you don't need permission. Don't you need a permission slip from your daddy? Joe Gacy says no. We're one tree, four roots. Kofi getting schooled by Joe Gacy, who says what you see here is a real family, unlike yours. Kofi says apparently my problem is with you. He challenges Joe Gacy. This match kind of came out of nowhere, so we're going to talk about that later. Kofi Kingston versus Joe Gacy. If you didn't see the match, leave me your predictions in the chat of who you think won this match. I'm very curious to see what people think of what happened with this match, if you didn't see it. We get videos from last week, Dijak dragging Stacks and Wesley, picking up the win on Tony D. Early Wednesday morning, Stacks is beat up. He's handcuffed. They beat the shit out of him. Dijak has a cassette tape from 1980 to record the conversation. Stacks says, I do whatever the Don needs me to do. Dijak says, loyalty has its consequences, blah, blah, blah. Punches him in the stomach. Stacks basically says, dude, let's settle this in the ring. What the hell are we doing here? And apparently now we have a match between Dijak and Stacks, and this is one of the dumber vignettes I've ever seen. I don't know about you. I wasn't impressed at all. I missed the old Dijak, the one that was putting on bangers with Keith Lee and just, But whatever. We'll get to Dijak later because we're not there yet. Almost. Right after this. And I'm going to go to Anthony first on this one. Dijak versus Stacks. I want to know what your thoughts are. You're going to go first. But before that match happens, Drew Gulak now training Chase U. All right? Andre Chase said, what the F is going on? Dempsey is hurt, but you can't go around training my students. Gulak says, I was just trying to, test your students out. See who's good, who's not. He's like, how'd the test go? Mixed results. You got some shitty students here, Andre Chase. I'm Drew Gulak, and I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I love Drew Gulak. I think he's a national treasure at this point. Chase U then leaves, okay? Now we get the match between Dijak and Stacks, and this was a, pretty predictable match considering the push Dijak's getting. But I will say this, Stacks did look super impressive tonight. Very hard-hitting physical match in the beginning. Dijak getting the NWO black and white treatment. Stacks comes out hot, gives Dijak a beatdown for a few moments until Dijak lands a nasty rib kick and a knee to the midsection, more kicks to the gut. Justice has been served the hard way. We got a nasty side-away, fall-away slam chuck. I don't even know what the fuck to call that. Lewis, have you ever seen that move before? It's like a modified fall-away slam chuck, right? That's what I'm calling it. The modified fall-away slam chuck.
Not a bad idea.
You just
put like a gimmick name to it.
You just chucked the fucking guy. Okay. Anthony, real quick, tell me what you thought about this match before I finish up here.
Honestly, the segment did more for me than the match did. I'm gonna say it right now.
The segment didn't do anything for you?
No, the match itself. I mean, the after the match, I was very fond of because it's Tony fucking D, so can't go wrong with him. But with the segment, I like the old school kind of mafia vibe to it. But just having Tony D on my TV is just, one of my favorite things to look at.
Understandable. Do you want to see Dijak get a push, though?
Yeah, honestly, I would.
How about Jay? Jay, what did you see in this match, and what do you think's happening with Dijak? this year? Is he
This is
becoming a
why
champion?
I would like to say I'm the firm believer of Dijak. I have not given up on this train. I told you guys.
Okay.
The presentation with the black and white I thought was perfect. It fits. He came out behind, came out in the front. There's moves we all know what he could do. I mean, he does the same thing over and over with the backbreaker throw. I love the finish with the big boot. I thought that was really great. If that was a 1, 2, 3, I say this match was great. Well, let's face it, Stacks didn't sell to feast your eyes. We all saw that his two hands blocked it. I don't know if he was scared to take it or he just didn't know at one point where to put his hands up. It just looked very ugly. I thought it made Dijak just look weak there, but overall it was great. Anthony said with Tony D, these guys are gonna have a banger of a match, but I'm not getting off Dijak. You ask me to push, hell yeah, I'll give him a push. But first, I'll give it to Tony D.
So you want Dijak to take it off Tony D? Okay, I like that. I like that. How about you, Lewis? What do you see in all this happening in the future? And you can throw in Tony D, Dijak, Stacks.
I mean, I've always been a huge fan of Dijak. Even going to Ring of Honor. I just hope that the gimmick they're giving him now, continues to be the way it is. I want to continue to see him be the beast that he is. Because the second you make him look weak at all, I feel like you're gonna kill the entire gimmick. The whole gimmick's done. But I'm a fan of Tony D. I've been a fan of Tony D since he started. I like Stacks, so I'm excited to see the payoff of the match between Dijak and Tony D.
Okay. I gotta admit it's pretty cool that Anthony said Big Boss Man. You know what I mean? The fact that he even says it and, is talking about Big Boss Man. The fact that he's even comparing him to the Big Boss Man. Now it makes me think maybe he really is the new generation Boss Man, but he's going to have to really work hard to make a believer out of me. Because those are big shoes to fill. Big Boss Man, someone that should have been a WWF champion, but we never got that. Wow, there's a lot going on in the chat, man. I want to just say what's up. Jake, the Tribal Chief, we appreciate you. Who else we got? Steven Chambers, what's going on? Anthony Graves, pod again. Appreciate you. Lisa, thank you for being here. And, Jakey Bakey, man. What's going on, brother? Any questions, again, leave them in the chat. NXT is not going to stop, but we're going to stop for a second. Just to cut a little promo. So, Lewis, you want to tell me a little bit about what's coming at the Wrestling Universe, or do you want me to just rip that promo for you?
I got you. Wrestling Universe, upcoming signings. Our first one of the year is January 14th. We got Mr. Anderson coming.
Mr. Anderson.
Along with him, indie wrestling sensation Maddie Rankowski. I guess you can call her one of those as seen on AEW Dark girls. And then along with them, Enzo Amore. So that's going to be awesome. For January
I'll be there January 14th for that, man.
Yep. And then February 4th, which is the signing after that. We got a couple solid guys. Brian Cage, Kylan King, the genius Lanny Poffo. So if you have any Randy Savage questions, the genius Lanny Poffo is probably the perfect person to ask those questions to. And we have Chris Masters. So,
yeah, you got a great cast, man. I'm definitely coming to see Brian Cage, Danny Moe, Kylan King, Chris Masters, the genius. I mean, that's a great signing. And then, of course, you have Enzo fucking Amore, man. Enzo, man. Enzo's great.
Enzo's fun.
Enzo's a conversation. I was supposed to meet him in Philadelphia, and I don't know. I got caught up, and then he was gone. He left early. Also, don't forget about Lightning in a Bottle coming up February 28th. You want to tell us a little bit about that one, Lewis?
So, ETU, February 26th, live from Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. They just announced Marcus Mathers versus Jordan Oliver. They just had a match at the last show, and it was a banger, so they're running it back, and is a key contender match, which basically means that it's the number one contendership match for Masha Slamovich's key to the East Championship. And also appearing so far is Matt Cardona.
That alone is a reason to come. I know there's 2 matches announced right now, so I'm waiting for some more to be announced, and I'm very curious to see who else is going to be there. And you said you're definitely going to the Wrestling Con, right? Wrestling Con 4 and 80s Wrestling Con?
80s Wrestling Con, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there with Puppet Master Promotions.
Okay.
Which is kind of like the subsidy of the wrestling universe, I guess we'll call it.
Sounds like a good time, though. I'm probably going to end up coming there. Okay, so now we get, like I said, Dijak lands a nasty rib kick and a knee to the midsection. More kicks to the gut. Justice served the hard way. Nasty sideways fall away chuck slam. Like I mentioned, Tony D gives Stack some advice. Seems to work for a second until Dijak just catches another big boot to the face. We get a cover and a kick out. Modified go to sleep with a springboard off the ropes. Looked a little dangerous to me. I'm not really a big fan of the way he set that finish up. Dijak goes for it one more time, but Tony D with the save, landing some right hands. Tony D grabs the mic. He says, you think you're tough. You wish you had the, half the heart this guy does. Tony D then challenges Dijak at New Year's Evil for some street justice. So next week, there's going to be a match between Dijak and Tony D. And I'm very curious to see, like you just said, Dijak can't lose. If he loses, he looks bad. So I got bad news for Jay. Jay wants Tony D to become the end.
He has to take the L.
Who? Tony?
All I'm saying is that is because the next event is Vengeance Day. It just makes sense for Tony D to get a grudge match against Lee.
So he's going to beat Dijak. Probably cheating, though, right? That won't be clean.
I would just say Dijak would take this one loss, but I think that's it. I think from that, there's no more losses.
All right. We get an Oro Mensa interview. Says 2022, my feet got wet. 2023, I'm diving all the way in. Javi interrupts. Says 2023 is going to be the year of Big Body Javi, who is going to release his new Christmas album. He says, I'm not anybody, I'm Big Body Javi. We wish you all a Big Body Christmas. Feliz Javida. Mensa then goes on to say that this whole thing is kind of cringe and that when I'm done with you tonight, you won't have a singing voice anymore. Does anybody have a comment on this? Just raise your hand if you want to say something. All right, Toxic Attraction. And now this is when NXT now fucking gets good. Thank you for sticking around. Wow, NXT really got good right now tonight. Toxic Attraction was out and forever will be the most amazing female faction this brand has ever seen. It's 2023. They basically were cutting a promo. I thought JC Jane was 10 times better on the mic than Gigi Dolan was tonight. For whatever reason, I thought JC Jane just killed it on the mic. Great facials. Even though everything they were reading was 100% scripted. JC says, me and Gigi will be calling all the shots. We don't do stupid resolutions, we do revenge. While the world watches our every single move, we care about only one woman and one target. You want to take down our toxic empire? We're going to rebuild it brick by brick. Gigi says, using your broken body in the foundation. They're talking, of course, to Roxanne Perez. Indy Hartwell then comes out, says she is sick of hearing all that Toxic Attraction's bullshit. She thought Toxic Attraction was done when Mandy lost the title. I'm surprised she even brought up Mandy's name. It's time for new blood to run this division. Cora Jade then comes out, says, it's Tuesday and Indy is still complaining. No one cares about you. I deserve to be champ. She's interrupted by Nikita Lyons. Says, Cora, I'm surprised your ego even fits in this building. You deserve a kick to the face. And Indy is right. This division needs new blood. Zoe says, I knew I smelled bad TikToks and regrets showing your assets off for Instagram. Back to reality. Roxanne runs it. She says it's going to be short. Wendy Chu then interrupts, says no one wants to see an angry NXT champion. And she's talking to Zoe Starks. Thea Hale then comes out. It just yells, says it's a big girl fight. This all goes nuts. All the girls are coming out. They're beating the shit out of each other. And, everybody's going nuts. And then we're going to get a match, pretty much. We're going to get a match after. But basically what happened is there's going to be, I believe, a Battle Royal next week. 20-woman Battle Royale. And the winner is going to get a shot at Roxanne Perez. Who do you think's winning this Battle Royale, Anthony?
Cora.
Lewis?
They're gonna...
I agree with him, Cora. Me and Anthony were talking about this before we got on the stream. I feel like the only one that makes sense kind of at this point is probably Cora because they do have that history.
And Anthony, why do you think it's going to be Cora? Same reason?
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
All right, if you have to pick a second woman, who would it be? Who's your second? If it's not Cora. Zoe. And you, Lewis?
Yeah, Zoe Stark.
Same thing. And Jay,
Literally, we had this conversation before.
Jay, where do you stand in this? What's going on, Hunter Dillon? We appreciate you. Good evening to you, sir. Jay, where do you stand on all this, man? Steven Chambers says there's going to be a battle royal next week. Winner gets the shot at Roxanne's title. He's picking Zoe to win. Says it's going to be a good test for Roxanne Perez. And that's a great comment by Steven Chambers. Jay, what do you think?
Has to be Cora Jade. There's nobody else.
Maybe it's too soon for Cora, though, right? Maybe they want to save that for Mania?
I think it's the setup to stand and deliver. I think the Vengeance Day match. That's what I think.
Okay.
Because it's only a month away from that.
That's true.
It makes perfect sense.
Storyline-wise, it absolutely does, but you never know when they might throw a curveball, though. The match between Illidan and Alba Fire basically starts while all this chaos is happening. Alba Fire, I believe, decides to come to the ring with a steel chair to just try to get in this action for the Battle Royal. But, of course, Illidan's not going to let that happen. This match actually was pretty physical, but more when it got in the ring. The parking lot scene was kind of wild. I thought it was kind of wild, and then they get into the backstage area. It was okay. I was more impressed with the in-ring work tonight by Alba Fire, actually, and Illidan. I thought they got very physical. Everything was popping for me until the end of the match when we see the senton from Alba Fire, and the table doesn't even break because she barely lands. Then she does the gory bomb through the table. That looked good. Rolled her in the wing, got the win. Illidan has her little moment of like, I'm sick, you can't kill me, because she looks at her. She was looking at Alba Fire at the top rope like, go ahead, do your move. I don't give a fuck. Who wants to go first on this? Raise your hand. Anthony, it's all you.
Well, I was talking before the stream. Me and Lewis were talking about. I didn't like how they had the fight, go backstage, and then outside, and then I don't know if you guys noticed they paused it. So they both went back into the building. Like I said it to Lewis, they should have just started the match back there. That would have been a perfect thing because by pausing it and then bringing it out to the ring, you're kind of losing the emotion to the match. I lost emotion at that point because I was invested because they started the fight outside of the ring, then they went backstage, and then they went outside. And then all of a sudden, they just both walk off the shot.
Okay. How about when they got in the ring though? They did nothing. They clicked for you because they were beating the shit out of each other at some points in this match.
It really would have been a lot better if they fought to the ring.
Okay, I agree with that. Yeah, I guess you didn't like the wheelbarrow, and she's taking the wheelbarrow and bringing it down. How about you, Lewis? Were you a fan of the wheelbarrow spot?
I thought today just had one too many attacks, behind the back attacks. It's just I felt like every 30 minutes someone was getting attacked from behind. I'm like, all right, cool.
Does anybody know when the last time we saw a wheelbarrow being used on a pro wrestling TV show?
When was the last Moxley match?
Well, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Maybe. How about you, Jay? Do you even want to say anything about this match? Because I know how you feel about at least one of these superstars.
Make my take, Pat. I think to get to Anthony's point of why these matches start from the back or they just start right after a match ends is because I think NXT, I think the show has a real big problem. And I think you could say that to Raw and SmackDown sometimes, that you try to put too much content, whether it's backstage, promos, or matches, and you try to fit it all. And this is why these matches happen so rapidly. They just putting everything all together, and it just becomes a mess at times. And I think I thought this match really had potential. It was the shits to me, I ain't gonna lie. But I will say this, that Illidan looked great to me tonight. That heel persona, I'm loving it. The fact that she looked up and feel like she was talking to somebody, I love it. The mystique, the segments, the video, the dance, everything, I love it. And I think she delivered in that thing. Alba Fire, ever since she had this gimmick, she has just been a failure to me. And I think we saw tonight that the Swanton was just way too much, which is why the table didn't break. And it was never her moveset. Her moveset was always the glory bomb. I think she should finish with that. Let's take this Swanton off. I don't think she delivered in my eyes, guys. I'm kind of over her. But Ila Dawn really shined in my eyes tonight.
So Ila Dawn did shine tonight. I mean, Alba Fire to me was a little better tonight than other nights I've seen, but it was still good. I was happy. I was happy with the in-ring shit, man.
I just feel like when she sells her facial expressions, they don't do it for me. Just doesn't do it for me. I don't believe it. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you, man. Anybody else has anything to say on Alba Fire? Do we think she has a shot? What's going to happen next week? They're probably just going to end up leaving the ring and just beating the shit out of each other to the parking lot and not even caring about the Battle Royal, probably.
But this is the problem. Is they're trying to do what Monday Night Raw did last night. They started off the show with a brawl, so they're like, oh well, maybe we could do the women when we do the women's segment. We could have a brawl like a brawl and stew there, and then just like have all this chaos going on. You gotta make it make sense. Like last night with Raw, it made sense. Some of these don't make sense. If that's all I'm gonna say.
All right, it needs to make sense.
That women's segment that you said was really awesome. I thought that made sense because if those are the top women stars and they're cutting promos, I found the weakest link tonight. I don't know about you.
To me, I think Gigi Dolan is better served when she's cutting a promo off a shoot. Her reading a script.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I thought she really shined tonight. I thought they were both on that level.
I thought JC had more conviction. I just mean JC had more conviction in her throat, like the way she was talking, man.
Who was the weakest link to you, Jack?
What happened?
Who was the weakest link to you? I want to hear your opinion on this.
Oh, Nikita Lyons.
Really?
I can't believe I'm saying that.
Over Thea Hale?
I gotta say that. I gotta agree. I believe Wendy Chu cut a better promo.
I don't know. Once I heard Indy start cutting her promo and she just kept losing a step while she was speaking, I was like, damn. I mean, second I would go Nikita, but I kind of expect that out of Nikita. She's kind of like newer.
I just felt like when Starks took over for Nikita, like she just got so shitted by Starks the way she cut that promo.
Easily.
And it just made her look really bad. Like, wow, you're supposed to be this top star going for the belt, and you were here, and now we know why you're here.
I think Zoe overshined Starks, and then Indy kind of just cut a promo and just shit the can.
I do agree with you. She did kick the can. I do agree with that. I thought it was.
I felt bad. I was like, damn, like you've been here for what, 3-4 years at this point on television. Like, come on, Indy.
I was very surprised at Chu though. Not gonna lie, very surprised. Very surprised tonight.
Was anybody surprised when Grayson Waller killed that interview segment?
No.
Normal, right?
Because he's just a fucking guy.
Should we have the discussion now or at the end of the night then?
Up to you, man.
Let's vote on it, man. Everybody in the chat, do you want to hear us talk about the Braun Breaker Grayson Waller effect situation right now, or should we save it to the end of the show? Let us know in the chat. If we get enough people that want to hear it right now, we'll stop talking about all the nonsense. But for now, let's mention this interview. He says he's been focusing on manifesting becoming a new champion. How are you so confident? He's asked by Mackenzie. He's like, oh, you don't know? That's why I have a show and you don't. Last 2 weeks, I've outsmarted Braun, and I'm about to finish the job and make New Year's Evil easy. I got your number, Braun, and you may have that dog in you, but that does not make you immune to the Grayson Waller effect. Woof, woof. I liked it.
That was fucking great.
I really liked it. I was entertained. It was short and sweet, and that's how they should keep them. But now we're going to get an inside look to Indus Sher versus Creed Brothers next week. And this is a match that I am very excited about. I am very excited to watch the Creed Brothers get their asses handed to them by Indus Sher. It is long overdue. Creed brothers are done. This could be the end of the Diamond Mine as far as we know. What do you think, Lewis? In this year, Creed brothers, who do you got?
I thought the same thing, and I just don't want to admit it. But, like, at this point, there really is nothing for the Creed brothers to do. Diamond Mine's done. Where's Roger Strong been? Like, you might as well just bring Diamond Mine up and have, imagine, like, Alpha Academy and Diamond Mine. Like, that's... And at this point, it's like, all right, let's bring them up and let's see what they can do. Some young stars.
Okay.
But I think Indashir is going to just run through them,
Steven Chambers thinks it was a good match between Alba and Isla. But he also says that he thinks Chelsea Green is going to be the one to replace Mandy Rose in Toxic Attraction. I know Anthony heard this same thing yesterday. He was loving it. What do you guys think, Jay and Lewis, about Chelsea Green being the one to take over Toxic Attraction? Do you think that has legs?
She's okay. The only reasoning of why I said that is because she's got the same kind of look that Mandy had, has.
Okay, I can see that.
So I had this conversation. This is another one of those like pre-podcast conversations. I think that Chelsea Green, if she were to be put on the NXT roster, is that star. I don't think that anyone has that kind of level of, fame as she does. So I agree with you. I think she'd be great in Toxic Attraction because I just feel like she's the only believable, like she's here and everyone else is here. Kind of like Mandy was here and everyone else was here.
Okay. She's probably the only real possible... believable, like you said. Yeah, I can see that. But I also wouldn't... I think a Tiffany Stratton with dark hair is believable.
But she doesn't have that level of popularity yet. You know what I mean?
Not yet, but she'll get it.
She would have to be built there. I don't think
she will.
Build somebody there.
Wow, why not?
Want to throw someone in.
She's capable, though. Jay, what do you think? You think Tiffany's got a chance?
I'm not so sure anymore, but I do like Tiffany Stratton. I'll say that. Going back to what you guys talk, I love what you guys take.
Did they confirm all 20 people in this battle royal? Or is it only 19 that we know about? Maybe Tiffany Stratton's in this fucking thing, and she comes out and then Gigi Dolan and JC Jane help her win it. Or, honestly, I wouldn't mind a swerve. I wouldn't mind seeing Gigi Dolan or JC Jane win this thing.
I don't see it happening.
I just don't see the payoff of, like, where's it going to go? Like, it's like, they're not going to beat Roxanne. So it's like, what's the point? Like, to me, it's not believable. The only people that are believable are Zoe Starks and Cora Jade.
Yeah, and Cora Jade, we were talking about that a month ago. Like, this is a feud that's got to happen.
Man. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. There's a lot to look forward to next week. Good card, good lineup. Real quick, in this year, they were talking about how back home they're treated like celebrities. They're basically like gods in India. One of them was the first pro Indian baseball player ever. Says we are global figures, but in America, no one cares about us. We don't want any excuses from the Creed brothers when we beat them and basically shit on them. The WWE Universe needs to know that the Creed brothers were at 100% when we beat them. With no excuses. I guarantee the Creed brothers are taking that out next week. Now we get a match, and it's a very quick match. Javier Bernal versus Oro Mensah. Mensah picking up the win after a big spinning heel kick in the corner and the 1-2-3. That's all I'm going to say about that match. Briggs and Jensen segment. 2023 is going to be our year. Now we got the bar squared away, and we can win that Battle Royale and win that women's title. Kiana James coming in says, I'm not here to fight. I'm here to congratulate you on your big win last week. I'm going to hold up my end of the bargain. Good luck all. And I'll see you in the Battle Royale next week. Tells her boyfriend over there to text me later. Booker T sounds like he was having a good time listening to that interview. Now we get a match between Andre Chase versus Drew Gulak with Hank Walker. And real quick, before we get into that match, let's get into that Twitter footage. Did you guys all catch the Twitter footage of Caden and Carter being filmed unaware? And apparently there's some kind of secret they are hiding. Anybody have any indication on what the fuck this is?
No, but hopefully they lose the belt sooner than later.
How many women tag teams do we even have now?
Yeah, it's like to who?
To who? Yeah.
Yeah, Toxic Attraction for the 55th time? Like,
damn.
This is their problem. They don't have enough tag teams to have tag team titles.
Damn, Jakey Bakey said he started canceling Mandy Rose. So maybe Mandy will be back sooner than later. I don't know. Jakey Bakey could have started a trend tonight. Cancel Mandy. I don't agree with that, but I don't disagree with it either, man. You're entitled to your own shit.
I mean, think about it though, because it's like I don't think that Mandy Rose's name was was allowed to be mentioned if there was heat with what happened with her.
That's true. All right. Andre Chase.
People that don't work there, so
I don't know. I don't even care anymore. It's over. I'll care when she's back in WWE on SmackDown or something. Briggs and Jensen segment, blah, blah, blah. Match, Andre Chase versus Drew Gulak with Hank Walker. And this match was, it started off with a lot of wrestling. Gulak taking Chase to school in the beginning, but now Chase with a drop kick to the shins, a Russian leg sweep, hits his little Chase U spot. We see a video of Dempsey removing the wraps from his hands, and I think he's headed to the ring, but I'm not sure. Chase U chant complete. Now Andre going for the figure four. Not the smoothest looking figure four I've ever seen, but Gulak crawling to the ropes, showing a very good way to get out of the figure four. I'm not sure why more people don't just do that. My man just crawled to the ropes. No problem. I'll get out of this real quick and then beat you. Puts him in a dragon sleeper. I believe it's called the Gulak lock or something. I don't know. It's a dragon sleeper to me, man. And apparently Hank wasn't very happy that Drew Gulak was holding on to the chokehold a little longer after Chase was tapping out. Chase even tried to shake the hand of Drew Gulak at one point in the match. Drew Gulak legitimately slapped the fucking shit out of Andre Chase. Live on USA Network tonight. And I'm going to Jay first. What was your take on this wrestling match? And do you even care about the storyline in general?
I don't care, but this isn't a prime example of what I said about last night's show, that there was some victories that people shouldn't have gotten. And I don't think, I think you should have gave it to Andre Chase. I'm not an Andre Chase fan. I think he needs that little push, especially with the Chase U segment's been going on for the last, 2 months it's been carrying the show, live or pre-recorded. Gotta give credit to the guys.
Hold on a second, Jay. Hold on a second.
He got the win, and he didn't get the win.
Hold on. I just got to give a shout out to Mick Thomason because he was talking about Stacy Keibler. He was talking about a lot. He wants everybody to know that he's still here. And I know you're here, man. And any questions you have, leave them in the chat right now. I'll be making sure to pay attention to them, man. I'm sorry if I missed one of your questions. And Jay, go ahead. You can finish on that. I'm sorry.
Like I said, I just think we saw this last night. I saw this last night. I see it tonight. I think it was the wrong call. I don't think Andrew Chase should have took the loss. I don't think Drew Gulak needs that. I thought he was there to just kind of get people over. I didn't see it tonight. I thought it was the wrong call. I think Andre Chase was an MVP the last 2 months. Like I said, been carrying the show with his segments. Believe it, silly or not. I think it was the wrong call.
Okay. And Lewis, how about you? What you got to say on all this?
So my take on this is kind of that one of those, this guy comes in, he clearly acts like he's the better let's teacher, and he one-ups him this time, but I think it's going to be an eventual thing where we get to the Andre Chase payoff. If you understand, maybe we had the two teachers go against each other now. Next week we get two students, we get a couple students going at it, and then...
Can you see this fucking Chase U thing really transitioning to the WWE main roster?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm just going to say one quick take on it. I don't know if they're throwing a curveball on us, but I feel like sometimes the plans change. I don't
Stay
really
tantalizing.
see this heel turn on Duke Hudson. I don't know what's going on here. It's taking quite a long time.
Oh, that's true, man. That's true. And yes, stay tantalizing. Shout out to Tantalizing Tony. I don't know, man. I don't know how much longer I can put up with this Chase U bullshit. The only thing that keeps it together for me is the fact that Duke Hudson's really good at his job and Thea Hale's even better at her job. Yeah, I'll say that. Not a bad match, though. Drew Gulak did end up looking really good. Now we get an interview with Wesley that, They basically ask him about Tony. Dijak says he's looking forward to watching them beat the fuck out of each other. He's thinking about watching it from ringside next week, next to Booker T. I'm so excited for this. Yay! Let's keep it going. We got a match now with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. He's fighting Joe Gacy and the Schism. Kofi with a huge drop kick counter to Gacy. Now Joe with a backbreaker, slowing Kofi down. And then another one. Kofi now talking some shit. You know, he's taking out the Schism. Now Joe goes for his Uranagi. Kofi counters and lands the Trouble in Paradise. And Joe Gacy gets buried on live TV. 1, 2, 3. Lewis, what do you feel about... actually, I'm going to go to Anthony. Anthony. Sorry, Lewis, I'm skipping you. Anthony, what do you think of this match?
It was entertaining, but at the same time, I feel like it was there. You know, it was just like a match that was just, you know, thrown together to just be put on TV because they had nothing else to put on. I mean, I love Kofi. I'm a New Day guy.
Huge New Day guy.
Yep, but I just feel like it was just like one of those matches that was just like, we're going to just take these two guys and just put them in a match. Find a reasoning behind it, and that's it. I thought the Schism New Day segment with Pretty Deadly was dog shit.
Okay. Lewis, you ready?
So I hated this match.
Hated it.
For one reason and one reason only. The commentary pissed me off. Because the entire match, you have Booker T yelling at Xavier Woods why the New Day shouldn't be on NXT. And I'm like, you're completely taking me away from this match. I'm like, that was so unnecessary.
Yeah, Booker T was, he wasn't happy that Kofi got the win either.
I know. It was just like, dude, like, shut up at this point and call the match. Like, I couldn't even watch the match. I was just so pissed at Booker T.
Now, I'll say this. NXT has always done the absolute worst job at actually calling professional wrestling matches. Because they get off the rails like the whole match. Jay, how about you? Did this match make you happy tonight?
Well, I'm unhappy at NXT as a whole because we was promised the Dempsey match this week, and obviously it's not going to happen until next week. This is what I told you guys. There's just too much contact. All these matches just become short, or they just become pointless to put on tonight's show. I thought this was a pointless match, but I thought Gacy shined. I like the headbutt and the DDT. I like the right hand he did. I like his footwork. He lost weight because he has speed now. I think this guy got it all, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of those people in conversation to take the belt off Braun. Very impressed by Gacy tonight.
I think the chat guy said something really good. He basically thinks that Steven Chambers again thinks that Charlie and Drew are going to basically join forces next week. That Drew is going to turn on Hank and just team with Dempsey, and that they're going to be a tag team. How do we feel about that?
Not a bad. I always look at Drew
Not a
Gulak
bad
as
idea.
Generations Regal, in a sense of he's so underrated and he's so technical and he's such an asset to this company. Like, even behind the scenes, a training aspect and like a teaching aspect, that I think having the guy who I call this generation's Regal with Regal's son, killer.
Jesus Christ. Well, I wonder if Nick does what Steven Chambers does. Basically, he says he mutes the commentary because, he's, and then Hunter Dillon is done with the shucky ducky quack quack. And I'm sure a lot of people are, man. Jake the Tribal Chief coming in hot saying Booker T is a fool. Okay. He's a fool. If you say so, no problem. I'm okay with that. Now we get a segment. We got a video from Drew Gulak. He's celebrating. Hank saying, "Why were you holding on so long?" Drew Gulak goes on to say, "A win is a win is a win." Dempsey shows up, says, "Injury or not, next week it's on." Drew says, "Next week, rest your arm because Hank is going to rip it out of its socket." So next week, Hank, the security guard, is going to get the ass kicking he deserves. He's going to get stretched next week. Maybe even injured. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have a comment to make about a certain wrestler, but I'm not going to make it tonight based on what happened last night during a specific football game. I'm not going to get into it right now. I'll wait a couple of weeks Yeah. All I'll say is this. I think there's someone on the roster who, if he takes the wrong hit, could also just drop dead. And I don't know who it is, and we'll talk about it tonight out of respect for some other people. But, yeah, I don't know why my mind was going there, man. I'm a sick fuck, I guess. I'm sorry, man. We get a segment with Pretty Deadly. Deadly says we are done jumping through hoops, and we are the best tag team out here. Says these titles, they're ours, man. We're the best. Pretty Deadly says we're the best tag team of all time. And then, of course, New Day, they're like, these titles say that we're the best, blah, blah, blah. And then next week, Pretty Deadly's going to go on a gauntlet match. If they beat all three teams, they're going to get a shot at the titles. Do we think they're even having a shot of winning this gauntlet match, Lewis?
Probably not. They're probably gonna get. It's probably gonna. They'll get past 1. They'll get past 2, and something will happen in 3, and then they'll lose. And
how about you, Jay? Are they getting past this gauntlet match and fighting the New Day, or not a shot?
Not at all, man. I don't see it.
Anthony, do they have a shot in the world?
They better, because of the way the storyline's been going. And they better give me something, because I'm sick and tired of seeing a build to that.
I can't believe the disrespect in this stream right now for Pretty Deadly, one of the greatest tag teams in NXT history. They've kicked a lot of ass. I think they have a killer gimmick.
I think they're gonna get called up. So
maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
I think they're gonna get called up. So having them, win a title and do everything doesn't make sense, because the second Mania hits, it's like, all right, peace, you're done.
I appreciate that, Mick. You need my TV. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. You need my T-shirt sent to you right away. Well, I have good news for you. If you go to wrestlingwithsavage.com, you can go to the shop and pick yourself up some shirts. But if I were you, I would wait a couple of days. Because Savage has been working on some new merch, some nice shit, good designs, quality designs, because all my stuff is as legit as I can make it. It's not it's not the best in the world, but it's pretty darn good for a noob in making these t-shirt designs. I just started making t-shirts last year, so I'm still a noob. But not bad for a noob, man. I mean, I like them. Gilch likes them. I think Anthony bought one.
Yeah, I did.
It took Lewis a few months to subscribe to the channel, so I would assume it's going to take a few years before he buys a sweatshirt. Jay, there's a better chance of Satan coming into my bathroom and taking a shit. Oh, man. All right, we get the countdown to the new year next week. New year, new me. Hopefully it's Tiffany Stratton. That's who I want. God damn it. I want Tiffany Stratton back, and I'm going to do my best to make this next 10-15 minutes as savage as possible for all of you. Next week, Tony D is taking on Dijak, and I swear to God, I want to see Tony D take a shit on Dijak in the middle of the fucking ring. Do whatever it takes to beat this man. You are the boss. You are the Dawn of NXT, and you're going to show everyone why next week. Charlie Dempsey versus Hank Walker. Hank Walker, I hope this is the last time I ever see you on NXT. The next time I see you on NXT, I want you to have a broom in your hand and sweep the floor like you should be doing, man. Or go be a security guard. I don't even think you were good at that either, goddammit. You look like Seth Rogen from Knocked Up, and I'm fucking sick of it. #1 contender battle royal going down. I'm praying to God. I agree with Jay and everybody else. I think Cora Jade's going to come on top of this, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of a swerve. Creed brothers, rest in peace, because next week you're getting fucking murdered by Indus Sher. Jay, why don't you take us into the Grayson Waller effect? What did Grayson Waller and Braun Breaker do for you tonight to set you up for New Year's Evil next week?
Can't believe I say this. This didn't absolutely do anything for me. This whole segment, I thought it didn't live up. I don't know what it was. I thought Waller's lines were a bit flat. I thought the segment he did earlier with Kesby was 20 times better than what I saw. I don't think Braun knew how to respond to Waller's charisma, because he has a lot of charisma, which is great. I'm not going to knock him, take anything down from him tonight. I'm not saying he was bad. I'm just saying that everything he was delivering wasn't hitting. think we saw the crowd reaction at times trying to figure out, okay, what? And the way that Braun responded, it was just not. It looked like a robot responding, someone that didn't know what to say. I got 2 million, you got 0. I thought that was a little bad right there. I didn't really enjoy that. I don't know where that was headed. The whole Braun thing, yeah, we all knew he was gonna get attacked. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like, I thought these guys really have great chemistry, but tonight, I don't know. I don't know if it was Braun that was hesitant at times.
I don't think they had good chemistry tonight at all, bro.
I think it was a mix.
I agree with you on that.
I think they tried a new thing. They tried a new aspect of being like, yeah, he's just gonna talk shit. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, you're right. But in the end, like, big blow off, like, ooh, kind of thing, like at the end, and we didn't like get that. So I think that's what made it fall flat. It's like, yeah, you suck. You're this. You're that. Yeah, maybe I do. But we didn't get that. But we just got nothing.
Oh, that was a good
I
crack.
just feel like Braun, with the Brons and Crews, like, it was so perfect because those guys speak the way they speak. They're well spoken and they're similar in every single way, even in the wrestling ring. But when you have someone like Waller who's really hype, charisma, facial expressions out of this world, he's bringing this whole energy, and you can't keep up with it. At times we get this. I think this is the end result of what we get.
All right, Anthony, I'm going to give my take real quick, and then you're going to give me your take on who you think's going to win next week versus Braun Breaker and Grayson Waller. I 100% know Braun Breaker's winning that match next week. Grayson Waller, no matter how good he is and how entertaining he is and, you know, how much we love him, he's just not there yet. Steven Chambers definitely agrees with me. One day Grayson Waller will be ready, but it won't be that time. But the question I want to get into is, Anthony, right to you. Do you think, obviously, the same as I do? And if you don't think that Grayson Waller is going to beat Braun Breaker, who is the guy that's going to take the title off Braun Breaker? Because our chat, everybody has an opinion. Mick has one. Steven Chambers has one. I know Jake, the Tribal Chief, agrees with Steven. It seems like everybody does. Seems like I do. He thinks Carmelo Hayes is going to be the man to take the title off Braun Breaker. Maybe. But what do you think, Ant?
This is going to go with what I said. I think it was last week. I don't think that you should have Carmelo Hayes go against Braun, because they're two different guys in the ring. Sometimes it can mesh, sometimes it can't. But Braun Breaker just moves too slow. And where Carmelo, I almost said it. Yeah. To where Carmelo Hayes is very quick. And he's very,
Carmelo Hayes is well groomed though. He's ready. Now I don't know if he's going to be given the sign, go get it, but he's ready. He's ready as far as his wrestling ability goes. Yeah. Lewis, what do you think? Do you think he's got a shot?
I mean, I see them calling up Carmelo Hayes before they ever.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I see them giving him like the Ricochet push, where it's like, okay, you were North American champion, let's go to the main roster.
I can see that too, man. But at the same time, I heard an interview with him on Busted Open, and he said personally to David LaGreca that he wouldn't feel happy going to the main roster without holding the NXT championship. He wants that Triple Crown title.
In that case, Carmelo Hayes is that guy then. I think of
I think he can carry that title too.
I think of the entire NXT roster, of the second they go to the main roster, they're going to be stars. It's Braun and it's Carmelo. I think those are the next generation of guys that you're going to see on your television for the next 10 years.
Possibly,
so
yeah.
For Carmelo, I think maybe
Carmelo's young too. What is he, like 26?
Maybe.
Yeah, he's young. He's young.
I think Braun goes to the main roster, Carmelo takes the lead, has the title, does his thing, and then that's his time to go up in that case.
Imagine MJF and Carmelo Hayes for the title.
You know what? As long as you didn't say John Moxley, I'm okay with it.
I'm not saying John Moxley.
I know. I was waiting for it though. I was waiting. John Moxley and Braun Breaker. The Shield reunion. Are you guys ready for the Shield reunion in 2037?
I hope
It's not happening.
They're gonna start advertising.
It's not happening.
unless it's for a ring, I'm okay.
Anthony, I will bet you any amount of money in the world that there will be a Shield reunion one day. One day.
I'm not saying anything about Moxley or anybody. This is NXT. This is how I'm keeping it.
Acknowledge your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, okay? He's going to call Mox, and he's going to be like, Mox, look, man, we got to do this, man. I need money. My last movie flopped.
Here's what I'm going to say. This is going to be sad. Because after this, what do you do with Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns is done.
I don't know what we do with Roman Reigns, but there's two possibilities. Roman Reigns is either losing at WrestleMania this year, or he's going to lose in WrestleMania in 4 years. Those are your two options.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have him lose, and then you just take him off TV for 6 months, and then have him come back with a bang.
Yeah, he'll be the new Brock.
But as what? Like as a babyface, or keep him as a heel?
When he comes back, he'll be a babyface.
I was gonna say to me it depends on what the landscape of WWE is looking like by like SummerSlam.
Yeah, true.
Anybody staying up for Wrestle Kingdom tonight?
I'm gonna probably try to.
I want to watch it so bad, but there's no fucking way. Maybe what I'll do is, does anybody know how long the show is tonight?
5 hours.
Yeah, it's long.
5 hours? Oh, that's awesome, dude. Because if it starts
Well,
at
that's without the media, right?
You wake up and it's like
yo, that's awesome. I could wake up at 7 a.m. and watch Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. That's gonna be like the best morning of 2023 as far as wrestling's concerned. When else? What other day are you gonna wake up to a guaranteed Dave Meltzer 12-star match?
I think that's gonna be the match of the night.
Might be match of the year.
You say Okada and White.
Yeah, I got Discord, Steven Chambers, man. The link is inside the YouTube page. It's on my website, wrestlingwithsavage.com. Speaking of wrestlingwithsavage.com, you should go visit it. You can always see the latest videos I have. You can check out all the links, and most importantly, you can learn about the crew. You can learn about Jay and Lewis. Wait, do I have a bio for Lewis on there? Did I ever put a bio for you on there, Lewis?
Maybe I follow you on YouTube. You put a bio.
I don't know. I can't remember.
One hand
I
beats
think,
the other.
yeah, all right. Yeah, there's something on there for Lewis, I think. And then Anthony's on there. And then, obviously, you can check out the shop. And, we're going to be trying to do a lot of things here on Wrestling with Savage for everybody and, more giveaways and shit like that. But, yeah, you definitely want to follow, and most importantly, share it with other people who enjoy listening to people talk wrestling. I want to give a shout-out to all the cool people that I met all in the last few weeks. First, shout out to lovely Miss Larkin. She was maybe going to be here tonight, but something came up, so she will definitely be on one of our NXT episodes in the future, 100%. And we're going to work on having a couple other people here, ABJ. We're going to get Tantalizing Tony in here. I'm working on getting Rick Recon in here this week or next week. If you don't know Rick Recon, great independent wrestler. He's actually managed by David LaGreca, and he's actually taking on Enzo Amore January 20th at some church in New Jersey, and I'm thinking about driving there. It's on a Friday night. Jay, you want to watch Enzo Amore on a Friday night? Should we go? Take a drive?
No.
It's in a church. It's got to be like $10. And there's a Dave LaGreca lean contest. Yeah, I think it's a church, yeah. Why not? It's holy shit, right? Holy shit. Holy shit. Who else? Dr. Cool joined us a couple of weeks ago on an interview that was awesome. I got to have... Jay, did you see my video with NWA superstar? Polo Del Mar? You know Polo Del Mar.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Some of my boys invited me in to a live stream with Polo Del Mar, and I was just sitting there talking with this, NWA superstar at like 12 o'clock, 1 in the morning. I don't even know what time it was. Cut a promo on him and everything. It was great.
I thought you were a bully at one point.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you saw it. Yeah, he said you remind me of Bully Ray. I like it. He made a comment saying, I like this guy because he curses first and then asks for permission. It's great. Some good memories these last couple of weeks, man. And of course, big shout out to David and Gilch, and Thomas. Hopefully Thomas is going to be here for AEW tomorrow, man. He says he's going to be here. I don't know. Anybody going to WrestleCon besides just me and Lewis and Anthony? Jay, you're not coming, right? No way. You don't want to meet Andre's daughter, do you?
Yeah, Bret Hart.
Bret Hart, yeah, you can meet Bret Hart if you want. He'll be there. You got something for him to sign? Are you going to Enzo on the 14th, man? Speaking of the wrestling universe, let's remind you all one more time what's going on January 14th. Enzo Amore is going to be at the Wrestling Universe from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Get a photo op, sign out of combo. This, again, is in the Wrestling Universe in Queens. Then on February 4th, you have The Genius. You also have Chris Masters. You have Kylan King. You have Danny Moe. And you have Brian Cage. And I will definitely be there 100% to meet Brian Cage. And, of course, don't forget February 28th, Lightning in a Bottle. It's going to be a great show out in New Jersey. You can get all the information from Wrestling Universe. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on TikTok. And go to their store and buy shit now. WrestlingUniverse.com. If you let them know that you're a member of the Busted Open Nation, you will get an automatic 10% discount. And that is a fact. Anybody else have anything to say before we shut this down, boys?
Can't wait for WrestleCon.
We got people watching us. If you guys want to keep going, there's at least 7 people in this chat right now live, and there's been more.
Naomi's in Japan. I heard.
Naomi is in Japan.
I heard Bailey's in Japan too.
No way.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Really? Well, it makes sense. Aren't the Good Brothers there too?
Carl Anderson is there.
On the
He has a match.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the first time that's ever happened that a WWE superstar is wrestling in New Japan.
This
I wanna
might
see-
be the
Forbidden Door?
Yeah.
The real Forbidden Door.
The belt, but I want to see the television championship. I didn't see the design of it. I want to see how it looks.
Who's winning between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega? It's got to be Will, right?
I say Will.
it's the passing of the guard for New Japan. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Okay.
That
Okay.
promo though, that promo was great.
That was good. That was good.
I
Omega.
see FTR taking the L.
FTR taking now.
Yeah.
What do we got coming up on Dynamite tomorrow, man? Don't we have a big night on Dynamite tomorrow? We got a lot of matches. You got Darby Allin versus Samoa Joe for the TNT Championship. What do we think's happening with that one over there?
Joe.
Honestly, that promo with Sting kind of scared me. I would not be surprised if Darby pulls up a shock on New Year's, first New Year's. New year, new look. They're going to have a new stage, new set, hopefully new direction and cameramen and storytelling. I'm not even sure what we're going to see tomorrow. I would steal Jack's catchphrase for his show. Expect unexpected tomorrow night.
It's a Ricky Starks match.
Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho tomorrow night. So we should see Ricky Starks beating Chris Jericho. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody from the JAS comes out down and just beats the shit out of Ricky Starks. And they crucify his ass on the new year. Live on Dynamite. I mean,
I don't know. I think they're crucifying him with this booking.
now there's 8 people in here, man. They want to know about Ricky Starks. MJF contractually obligated to show up tomorrow night to Dynamite to grace us with his presence. And I want to personally take the time to thank the greatest wrestler in the world today. Because last year it was Roman Reigns, but this year, it's MJF. It started with MJF. He is your champion. Him and Roman are on the same page right now. They both had 0 matches this year, so I can only base it on promos. And I know, since Roman wasn't on TV on Monday, we weren't blessed with a Tribal Chiefs press. He was too busy to come out and acknowledge us so we could acknowledge him. But you know who's not too busy to come out on the first Dynamite of the new year? He may be contractually obligated, but he's still coming, man, and MJF's going to be there. And anything he does on the microphone is going to be better than anything Roman Reigns ever does on the microphone. Sorry, and I'm not sorry.
I'm going to say it right now, he's ringing.
Lewis is like, I acknowledge.
I think Boldest, right?
I'll hold up the ones.
He's going to show up 5 minutes here, 5 to you. I don't like it.
I want to see him do another back and forth. with somebody.
Don't worry, man. No, you're good, Dan. Keep going.
Oh.
I was just telling this guy in the chat he shouldn't worry because he thinks that Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal will have a chance of actually taking the tag team titles off the Acclaimed. Which, by the way, that's also tomorrow night.
Oh my god! Everything that's been going on between.
We have a card, yo.
Family?
There's a card tomorrow night, man. Tomorrow's Dynamite is fucking stacked, man. There's actual matches with consequences here, folks.
Yeah,
Deliver.
but you know what? First of all, yeah, great card, but but like Jay said, the matches have to deliver. Everybody's got to fucking deliver on that, and there better be certain decisions that are made that are going to make the. You know, you could change the outlook, like everything with the show, but if your decisions are shit, that's not going to matter.
Well, we're going to get that first glimpse of the new year as far as storytelling goes, Jay. Do you think we're going to get anything different?
I'm at a toss-up because I don't know if I should give Ricky Starks another chance to main event AEW Dynamite after what I saw the first time, or I just give it to Joe again for 2 weeks.
And also, Jake, the Tribal Chief, reminded me that Bryan Danielson is going to beat Tony Nese tomorrow night, which obviously there's no way Tony Nese is winning that match. I mean, we know that shit.
Poor Tony Nese.
Tony's taking that L big time. Come on. Like, it's not even...
Tony Nese just needs to go back onto the Indies. He'll have so much more success.
What else is going on
he does in AEW.
What do we think MJF's going to say tomorrow? Because Bryan's got a match with Tony Nese, right? And they're obviously featuring Bryan Danielson with, MJF. They're trying to set that match up. So do we see MJF just have his own little program, or is he going to be sitting in the fucking rafters again watching Tony Nese get murdered?
He's going to be up in the rafters. And then after the match with Danielson and Nese, they're gonna have their promo. They're gonna have their segment. I think that's how it's gonna that's what's gonna go down.
Now we have to watch AR Fox get killed by Swerve Strickland tomorrow and his two goons. 100%.
Oh, fuck my life.
That match could be a low-key banger.
It could be, though. AR Fox is awesome, and Swerve has been impressive to me lately.
They got Lucha Underground history there.
All right, and how about we're also going to have Jade Cargill and Red Velvet versus Kiera Hogan and Sky Blue.
Okay, I'm going to go get my pillow for that match.
You need your pill for that match? We got 11 people in here, by the way. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate all of you, from Steven Chambers, Mick, Jake. Make sure you stay ravishing. Absolutely, I agree. Everybody else that's been in the chat, Jakey Bakey, you guys are all fucking awesome. 11 people watching NXT. This is not a record. I think we did more one night when we had fake bots in here. There was one night, actually, Lewis, we had 900 people watching us at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, but I know for a fact 896 of them were bots. So, like...
It helps the algorithm. We're good.
It wasn't me. I think it was one of my friends from California. He's a maniac. But tonight we're doing pretty good. Jade going to leave Red Velvet? Maybe. I don't know. Does anybody care about Hangman's update? Hangman Moxley? Does everybody in here agree that Hangman has to beat Moxley in this match, though?
He better. Send Moxley home.
I'm going to skip the match.
Lewis, how about you?
I think Moxley, or not Moxley, I think Hangman needs to win. I think Hangman also needs that break, that Roman Reigns break. Or not Hangman, Moxley.
What? So wait. Him not having a match for like 5 months isn't a break enough? He needs another break now?
Moxley not having a match?
No, Hangman. Hangman hasn't been having a lot of matches.
I meant Moxley.
Okay.
Hangman needs... I'm stumbling at this point. Hangman needs to beat Moxley. And Moxley needs to just go away for a little bit.
Just for a little bit.
I mean...
About 5-6 months.
Just for a little bit.
Take a break. It's like, okay, go take that break now, so I don't have to deal with you.
No, but see, it's like what I have a feeling of what's gonna happen is that he's gonna get taken off TV and then he's gonna go do indie shit. It's like, no.
See, I just wanted to talk a little AEW because obviously tomorrow's show is going to be AEW and we'll all be back here hopefully. I don't know, Lewis, you joining us for AEW tomorrow?
Yeah, I should be.
Okay. Jay, I'm sure Jay always does love the opportunity to just shit on anything Tony Khan does, so I'm confident he will be here. Anthony is the new Iron Man in 2023 so far. So far. We'll see if he holds on to that streak. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for being here with us. That's why I wanted to finish off with AEW to kind of lead into tomorrow night so we can have some excitement when we're back right here on the greatest podcast, late night wrestling talk show in the world today, Wrestling with Savage. We'll see you all tomorrow, man. Everybody have a good night, man. Peace out. Thank you, Jay, Lewis, Anthony. Make sure you go to the Wrestling Universe and ask for Jack. Tell him Savage sent ya. Good job, Savage.
It's the best hat in pro wrestling today! I'm wrestling with Savage with Willow Nightingale, baby! Let's go!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Because I'm lovely AF and you aren't. Thank you.
And you heard it here first on Wrestling with Savage. You're fucking raw, man, yeah! Raw fucking yeah! Yeah!
Battleground Championship Wrestling, we will not be denied.
With Luigi, the greatest pizza maker of all fucking time! Look at this fucking guy right here! Look at this fucking guy! Fuck you, Fuck
Say you are listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live as the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage, SmackDown. Hold the title, this is Wrestling with Savage. What?
They are the best tag team in the world today!
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live as the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage, SmackDown. Hold the title, this is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
Merry fucking Christmas, Bully Ray. Good job, Savage. It's the best hat in pro wrestling today! I'm wrestling with Savage with Willow Nightingale, baby! Let's go!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Because I'm lovely AF and you aren't. Thank you.
And you heard it here first on Wrestling with Savage. You're fucking raw, man, yeah! Raw fucking yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Battleground Championship Wrestling, we will not be denied.
With Luigi, the greatest pizza maker of all fucking time! Look at this fucking guy right here! Look at this fucking guy! Fuck you, Fuck you!
Say you are listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live as the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage, SmackDown. Hold the title, this is Wrestling with Savage. What?
They are the best tag team in the world today!
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live as the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage, SmackDown. Hold the title, this is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
Merry fucking Christmas, Bully Ray. Good job, Savage. It's the best hat in pro wrestling today! I'm wrestling with Savage with Willow Nightingale, baby! Let's go!
Yeah!
Yeah!